Good morning. It is Stampin' Thursday, 10 o'clock, and I am Stampindede, and I'm so glad to be here with you this morning to show you the mystery card that I just thought was so fun, so easy, and yet comes out so beautiful. So I hope you've gathered these supplies and are going to make this card with me. And if you are on watching this live, please comment and let me know that you're here. I love to know who's watching, and if you're watching the replay or the YouTube, I love to see. I go back and look to see who watched, who participated. If you did participate, I would love to see the card that you make. These mystery cards, that's what's so fun about them, is you really don't know what it's going to look like. Even though you've picked out the papers and the embellishments, you don't know what it's going to look like until you finish it. And I love to see the finished products that you have come up with. So if you are doing this either live with me or on one of the replays on YouTube or here on the replay, and you make the card, I would love it if you would snap a picture of it, go to my Stampidede's Doings and Designs, and that link is on this page, but if you just put in Stampidede's Doings and Designs, this is my business page, and that is my my group page. And I've created an album, Mystery for whatever today is, 1824, and you can click on that album and add a photo to that album. So I would love it if you would do that. I love to see the cards that you make. So all right, here are the supplies that you need to make this card. You need basic white cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. You need a piece of colored cardstock, 4 by 5 1/4. You need another piece of basic white cardstock, 3 3/4 by 5. You need a piece of designer series paper, 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. I used the same colored cardstock, so I used the same thing as before. You might want to try something different, but I used the same thing, and that piece is 1/2 inch by 3 3/4. And then whatever embellishments you want to put on the front of the card, whatever stamped image or die cut image, whatever you want to use, and your sentiment. And then of course you need ink and your coloring tools, and if you want to add gems or dots or ribbon, you can add that at the end too. All right, and this card is going to be landscape. So just remember that as you put it together, that it's going to be a landscape card. All right. I hope you've gathered these supplies. I hope you'll, I'm looking to see. I hope you will make it with me. So here we go. The first thing you need. Oh, and if you do not have a demonstrator, this is my online store, and I would love to help you out. If you do not have somebody that you buy products through, I would love to have you go to my store site. You can view the catalogs. You can view the last chance items. You can view the card examples. So I would love for you to go to my site. Let me know, and I would be more than happy to help you. I just dropped something. There it is. I would be more than happy to help you out if you'll just email me at SusieZoo@Verizon.net, or just comment and I'll get back to you. All right, here we go. I'm going to move that aside. So here is our piece of cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5. I'm going to fold it and burnish it. You know what? It didn't. Sometimes the scorer doesn't do just a perfect job. So sometimes I have to whoops, and that's hard to do. So does your scorer ever do that? Where it just doesn't quite score it even. All right, there we go. And this is going to be a landscape card. Now, the next thing we need is a piece of colored cardstock, and I chose Flirty Flamingo. I believe that's what this is. It's either it may be Calypso Coral. And it is 4 by 5.25. So we're going to, well, before we do that, then you also have a piece of 1/2 by 3 3/4 inch cardstock. So we're going to take that first. And you've got your Designer Series paper. So underneath the right-hand side of your Designer Series paper, we're going to adhere this cardstock. So I'm just going to put, let me get my, let me get my glue put back together here. Wouldn't you know? I wasn't careful enough when I pulled the cap off. Well, all right. So I'm just going to put a line of glue right down the edge of this paper. And then I'm going to position it to where there's just a little bit showing. Right there. About 1/4 inch maybe. I'm also going to grab a piece of t-shirt that I keep handy. And I can see that I need to trim it just a tad. There we go. All right, so we have our piece of 1/2 by 3 3/4 inch cardstock. We glued it to our piece of Designer Series paper over on the right-hand side. So I hope you're doing this with me. I'm going to give you a minute to do it. If you are watching, let me know if you're doing it with me, and I will make sure that I don't run off and leave you. I'm not seeing anybody on yet. Let me see here. All right. All right, we're going to move on then. So now we're going to take this is your basic white layer that measures 3 3/4 by 5. And we're going to add our cardstock to the left side of this layer. So we're just going to add it right there. Maybe I'll do this side around. All right. So I'm just going to add. Okay, good. I'm glad you're doing it. Good. So you need to get this piece done first. Add your strip to the right side of your Designer Series paper. And then you're going to add this piece to the basic white cardstock. So I'm going to put some adhesive. Right along the back. You're going to add it right snug up against the edges. Here we go. So now we have our designer series paper added to our basic white, but not the card base. It's that other piece of cardstock. And I keep a little eraser. You never know when something gets on there that shouldn't be there. And these erasers just do a great job. All right. So here we are. So you can either stamp your sentiment on this layer, on this basic white, or you can add a sentiment, which is, I chose to stamp a sentiment and then I just cut around it, matted it, and cut around it again. I matted it in the Lost Lagoon because I'm going to have some Lost Lagoon in here. So I think before I add my sentiment, which is, I think it's going to go right there. But before I add that, I'm going to take my images, and I'm going with the Latte Love and a little latte designer series paper, and I actually cut these out of that designer series paper, and I'm going to add that, I think, maybe right here. And I also cut out some coffee beans. Let's see. Yeah. So I thought I'd just, oh, and I know what I wanted to do. I'm going to take the stamp from Latte Love. I'm going to take the splotch stamp. Get these back. I'm going to take this splotch stamp, and I think I'm going to lightly, with pecan pie, I'm going to lightly stamp my background. Now, you can do whatever you want to yours, but let me grab it. Grab a block. I'm also going to grab a piece of scratch paper because I'm going to stamp off. I really want it to be light. So I'm just going to put it right here, and I'm going to stamp off. And then I'm just going to add some blotches here. I'm turning my stamp different directions. I don't want much. Maybe I'll stamp off right there. And maybe one right up here. All right, that's all I'm going to do, but I just wanted a little bit of interest on my background. Now, I'm going to add my mugs that I fussy cut those out of the designer series paper. And I'm going to add a few coffee beans. I mean, basically, guys, this is it. There we go. So I'm going to do that with dimensionals. So you're adding your image. Let's see which one I want on top. I think I want this one on the bottom. So I'm going to add dimensionals. So you adhere your coffee mug or your your image that you prepared. You may need to color it, which is fine. You should have time to do that. This designer series paper is wonderful because it affords you the opportunity to fussy cut something like this that just works perfectly. So I'm going to add a dimensional to this side, of my card, and just add a little bit of glue to this side. And put it right there. Perfect. Now, I think I'm just going to glue these down. Turn that one a little bit. Glue this one down. I could add dimensionals to these, but yeah, I decided not to do that. Put that there. This one can go right here. I'm not going to use the fourth one. I'm just going to use 3. You know, 3 is that number that... Now, I'm going to add my sentiment right here. And I'm going to do that with dimensionals. So, let's see. I'm going to add it right here. So you're adding your images. The image or images, you're adding your sentiment. I'm going to put it under. There we go. I need lots of birthday cards. I never seem to have enough birthday cards. All right. How are we doing? I've got stuff on my table. Of course. Ink. Of course. How are you coming, Kay? We've just got one more step left. Well, actually, we've got more than one left. I didn't do the inside of this card, but of course, I would probably take a piece of the cardstock and then put white on it. I think on my other sample, no, I didn't. But anyway. Good. This is such an easy card, but I just think it's so cute. All right, then you're going to take your other piece of cardstock and you're going to mount this right on that piece of cardstock. This is your 4" by 5 1/4". So I'm just going to add my adhesive. To my white. And I'm going to add that to this cardstock. There we go. I love how this Latte Love set makes designing a card so easy. You've got some background options like the splatter. You've also got some coffee bean stamps that I've used as part of the background. Let me pull this over here. And then you've got your different mugs. You've got your different mugs, the view from the top mug, and then the whole cup mug, and the insides, the cream that you can put inside it. Plus you have cream, you've got little mugs then. You've got 2 little mug dies that you can put the inside in. Here's the inside die. You've got 2 different kinds. You've got a press and a like a Mr. Coffee and a spoon. Lots of variety. I've done this set on Dying to Know, so you could go back and look at that video if you haven't gotten to see it. All right, so here we are. Our last step is to adhere this to your basic white card base. There are a couple of things that I think really make this card. Uh-oh, I didn't glue that on very well. I'll have to go back and glue that on in a minute. So make sure that it opens the right direction. I need to glue my little coffee bean back on. Didn't get quite enough glue on that time. I think I got too much. All right, there it is. Now, if I wanted to add, boy, I got glue on here. I mean, I got ink on here. Don't I always get a little squirt of water so I can get this up? My goodness gracious, I got ink on there. So I could add gems. I think I'm going to go grab maybe a Lost Lagoon ribbon. I think that's what this is. Yeah, I think I'm going to grab some ribbon. Tie me a bow. Put that somewhere on. I think it needs ribbon. I could tie it right there. I think it needs that, don't you? I think it needs some ribbon. All right, I'm going to use a glue dot to put that on, but I think I'll go ahead and trim it first. I may come back and trim it a little more. You know, the last chance items are available now. Items from the annual catalog that's going out, as well as the mini catalog that's going out. And if you have anything that you just really love, you better go grab it because they're going away fast. I don't remember about this particular, let me see. If this Lost Lagoon ribbon, I can't remember the stuff that's going out and the stuff that's not going out. The Lost Lagoon ribbon is still going to be available. So that's a good thing. I love that ribbon. I use a lot of Lost Lagoon. I love that color. So, yeah, I need to trim this just a little bit more. I think I'll go the opposite direction. There we go. Now, that's better. I know there's a piece of ribbon. All right, that is our card. How easy is that? Oh, I was going to tell you, the thing that I think makes this stand out is the strip of colored cardstock that you glued right to the bottom of the designer series paper, and it makes it look like, it just gives it a framed effect. And I think that makes this card really stand out. So I would love to see yours. I would love for you to go to my group page and post a picture there. I would love to see it. How are you doing, Kay? About got it? I mean, this card is so easy. So easy. So I wanted to show you, I'm very much in love with the Latte Love stamp set and the A Little Latte designer series paper. So I wanted to show you the paper in case you haven't seen it. It is an online, the Latte Love is an online exclusive. So you have to go online to the online store. And once again, if you don't have a demonstrator, I would love for you to go to my store, deannablackman.stampinup.net, and you can put in the top online exclusives search, and then you'll find the Latte Love bundle and the designer series paper. So here is some of the paper. So the coffee swirl, is that not awesome? And then the back side of that is this really vibrant color of Calypso Coral. So it is Calypso Coral. Yeah. So you have that piece. And then here is another swirl that's got the petal pink in it. And on the back of that is a design with your pecan pie. And then you've got a sheet with coffee beans. And on the back of that, you've got this plaid paper that I used today. And then you've got one of the designer papers that you can cut the mugs out of and use on your cards. And on the back of that is this really awesome swirl paper. And then you have another sheet of different mugs from a different perspective. And that's what I cut my 2 mugs from, is this sheet right here. And on the back of that, these are just little bitty coffee cups and spoons and coffee beans. Just a great background paper. And then your coffee splotch paper. Is that not really cool? And then your Lost Lagoon designer series. All right, those are the papers from this particular set, and I love using them. So that's my card, and I want to see your cards, but let me show you another sample that I did. I'll set this aside. You can move this now. So here is my second sample. And I've said this before, I'm this nature person who loves the wildlife sets. This set is going away. It's Wild and Sweet, the koala, the panda, and the raccoon. And so I'm using this set as much as I can right now. And this is the panda, of course. And then I die cut and colored some leaves to stick behind him. This paper is the new In Color Designer Series paper, and I wanted to show you that too. So this is the Pretty in Pink paper. But isn't that cool? I love that paper. So here is your peach pie. This is your new In Colors peach pie. So you have these two papers, and then you turn them over, and you've got stripes and circles. So that's your peach pie. Then you've got your Shy Shamrock, and it's got some green mixed into this. So your pretty design and your leaves. And then when you turn it over, you've got your stripes and your circles. They're all exactly the same. And then you've got your petunia pop. Here's your petunia pop. Same on the back. And then you've got your Pretty in Pink, which is what I used on my card. And the back. And then you've got Summer Splash, which is more of a teal. This has got more green in it. This has got more teal in it. And of course the back is the same. So those are your In Colors. And I chose, let me get these up. I chose to use that on this card. I used the Pretty in Pink. So, another way to do this particular layout. So, let me put the In Colors away and show you again my two card samples. Very different in nature. This would be great for a guy, actually. All right, that's it. That's it. I hope that you have enjoyed it. I hope you will use it. I hope you will post a picture of it on my group page. I would love to see your cards. Kay, thank you for making the card with me. And you know I want to see your card. So, all right, that's it for today. That's the mystery card. Make it together. Thank you. Thank you for being with me, and have a wonderful... Oh, let me tell you a funny thing that happened real quick. I drove in last night from church, and there was a turtle in the middle of the carport making his way across the carport. And I got out, and I talked to him a minute, and I said, you know, you're going to get run over if you stay here. So I picked him up and put him in inside our yard in our garden. And he quickly, you know, came out of his shell and made his way underneath the plants. And I told him, I said, now don't get in the pool. That's the one thing you don't want to do, is get in the pool. This morning, my husband took the little dog that we're dog sitting with, took her out to be a good girl. And I heard this splash, big splash. And then Clint was hollering at me. And I ran outside, and the turtle was floating in the pool, and my husband was floating in the pool. He had fallen in trying to get the turtle out of the pool. So I pulled him up as much as I could to where he could hang on to the deck. And I went and got the turtle, put him out in the front, and I said, you know, just be careful in the road. But I don't want you in my pool again. So anyway, everybody was fine. The turtle made it. My husband made it. The little dog we're sitting never got wet, but I think he was scared to death. So that's how my exciting day started. I hope you have a nice, calm, peaceful day. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.